5:30, Buffalo Mayor Byron Brown. He's in Albany. He's talking about budget needs for the city of Buffalo. He's part of a panel discussion with mayors from Syracuse, Rochester, and Yonkers. The meeting wrapped up about 2 hours ago, and he's joining us live via Zoom to talk about a handful of problems that was addressed today. Thanks for joining us, Mayor. We appreciate you.
You're welcome, Claudine. I'm on my way home from Albany. I'm at a rest stop off the thruway right now. It was a good day in Albany advocating for funding needs for the city of Buffalo. As you mentioned, I was part of a panel discussion with the mayors of Albany, Syracuse, Rochester, and Yonkers. And one of the main points that we all made is that more state aid is needed. State aid has been frozen since 2012. There used to be a revenue sharing formula in the state of New York that helped give governments budget predictability on what they would get from the state. And that formula has been frozen for too long. And all of us very strongly advocated for more state aid going to our communities.
If you don't get that state aid, could there be a tax increase, or would you have to cut funding to some other city programs?
You know, we've been very fiscally conservative and creative. We will be looking at all options to deliver the services that residents need and want. We will be working hard to make sure that we put together a creative, comprehensive budget that allows us to continue to build the city. Unfortunately, there are budget gaps. Everything has gone up. The cost of gasoline, the cost of electricity, heating costs have gone up, employee costs have gone up. So when that happens, you have to find ways to generate additional revenues or cut costs.
You know, we're looking at some video right now, and we're talking about lead pipes. The federal government requires that they be removed for cities like the city of Buffalo. You said Buffalo has already spent about $30 million, but you also said it will cost about $500 million to remove every lead pipe in the city. Will this even happen? And if so, who is going to pay for it?
Well, listen, the federal government is saying that it has to happen. I believe that that is another unfunded mandate being passed on to the local government. The issue of lead pipes is decades and decades and decades old. We knew this was a problem when we started the ROLL program in the city of Buffalo, replace old lead lines. And when lead lines break in the city of Buffalo, we replace them. And while we've spent about $30 million replacing old lead lines and replacing over 3,000 of these lines, we have another 40,000 that need to be replaced. And the estimated cost is about $500 million. That's $500 million. The city budget is only $575 million. So this is something that's being imposed on communities all across the country, and it will be very difficult to pay for it.
Mayor, final question. There are a lot of capital projects out there, including the need for a new Broadway garage when we're talking about snow and snow removal. How much will that cost? And did you get the sense that state lawmakers heard you today?
The state already gave us $10 million for a new DPW Resiliency Center campus. It will cost $60 million to build it out. We need another $50 million to do it right. And it did feel like members of the state Senate and members of the New York State Assembly were listening to the presentation that I made and other mayors made. Funding is critically needed if we are going to continue to invest not only in the city of Buffalo, but cities all across the state of New York.
Mayor Byron Brown, we want to thank you so much for joining us. I do have to just ask you one thing. I know there's so much talk about you and your future, and I know the fact that you were in Albany, you were actually fighting for Buffalo. Any talk about you possibly not staying with the city as a mayor, maybe going to OTB? I don't know where that came from, but do you want to address that at all?
You know, it seems like every big job that comes up in Buffalo or Western New York, my name gets attached to it. My term runs through December 31st of 2005. I am focused on the city of Buffalo. And in fact, many people are asking me to consider running for another term as mayor. So I am focused on Buffalo. Buffalo is a great community, and I continue to work hard every day to bring more resources and opportunity to the people of Buffalo.
Mayor Byron Brown, thank you for keeping it real and keeping it straight. We appreciate you coming on the 5:30 today.
Thank you, Claudine.